Hey everyone! I wanted to talk about 25 things that you can get rid of in 2025. Kind of had a nice ring to it, 25 and 2025. So the first one that I have is beauty products you'll never use. If they've been gifted to you, if you thought you might use them but never got around to it, they've been in your drawer for a long time, get rid of them. Shampoos, conditioners, face mask, face wash, body washes that you don't use, get rid of them. Second one is excess home decor. I used to be a person that had like totes and totes of home decor for all the different seasons. And it's just something that I got rid of, and I feel like I'm a lot less stressed because of it. I have a very, very minimal amount of like seasonal decor that I can fit in one tote for different seasons. And other than that, I don't keep a lot of like excess home decor. If I need a new lamp or whatever, I get rid of one I have and get another one instead of keeping all of this excess home decor that I didn't ever use and honestly was just taking up space physically and mentally too. And that kind of goes for clothes. Anything you haven't worn in the last 6 months, anything that you put on your body and you're like, this is kind of uncomfortable, I really don't like how this feels, get rid of it. Even if it was trendy, even if you think I'm supposed to be wearing this right now because this is what's in style, but for some reason it's just not working for you, it doesn't make you feel like your best self, get rid of it. Let go of the guilt of spending money on it and get rid of it. Anything in the pantry that your family will never eat. I don't know if you've been like me in the past, but there's been like recipes I've wanted to try, so I buy a really random ingredient that I'm never going to use again, get rid of it. If that recipe was a flop, get rid of that recipe and it's okay, move on. Books you have read but will never reread. I do keep a small like collection of books that I really love that I will reread, but if it's a book that I can honestly say I'm not ever going to reread again, I definitely get rid of that book. Kids toys, my family thinks I'm crazy because I get rid of and declutter kids toys all the time. I'm going to Goodwill or thrift stores to drop off kids toys. I have just found that my kids play so much better with fewer toys. I feel like they get less overwhelmed playing and they can just come up with some of the coolest, craziest stuff when they have way fewer things to play with. And so I know like after the holiday season, that's a time where I really go through and I'm like just tossing it all in bags to get rid of. Pots and pans. Most pots and pans come in like a big like collection of pots and pans when there's like a huge one, a tiny one, a medium-sized one, and you really don't need them all. I think I have maybe 3 pots now. And really that's all I need. They all fit very easily in one drawer and I don't have a ton of just stuff like when I'm opening cabinets and countertop stuff just like falling everywhere. On this note, food storage containers like Tupperware, anything like that, I've really been trying to go to all glass food storage containers anyways. So I've been slowly kind of weeding out the like plastic ones. And I feel like things like that you can't do just all at once. It's just like a slow process, one thing at a time kind of. But I have what we need. I have the amount that we need. And I don't have a bunch of like random lids that don't go to anything or random like the bowl part that doesn't have a lid. If it's not a set and it's not something that we use, get rid of it. All those food storage containers. Cleaning supplies. I used to be overrun with cleaning supplies. Like I had a different cleaning supply for like the bathroom, the kitchen, this. You really need a very simple, wholesome clean ingredient product that you can clean your whole house with. I just make my own all-purpose cleaner and I use it for every room in my house and it's one bottle. And so I feel like all of those excess cleaning supplies really aren't needed. Throw pillows. I can be a sucker for a good cute throw pillow. I find with children, honestly with adults too, they're just like thrown on the floor all the time. Or you're washing them all the time or whatever. So just really neutral throw pillows that can kind of go from season to season in my home has helped my home. I feel like I'm not looking for a place to store throw pillows. Like they used to be all up in the top of my closet, just a ton of different throw pillows for all different seasons. And I really just have the throw pillows that we currently have on our couch, and that's it. Number 11 is excess kitchen tools. Recently, I took our waffle maker to Goodwill because I got it as a wedding present, actually. And I think I've used that waffle maker 2 times. And we've been married almost 10 years, and I think I've used that waffle maker 2 times. So I was like, I don't ever make waffles. Why do I have this? Same thing with like a, what was I got rid of the other day? Oh, a garlic press. I always chop garlic up. I was like, why do I have a garlic press? All these excess kitchen gadgets that were sold all the time that when you really don't need and we can really get rid of. My next one is coffee cups. Another thing like throw pillow. I feel like I'm drawn to those coffee cups. Anytime I go somewhere, I'm like, oh my word, this coffee cup is so cute. So coffee cups, I have 2 people in my household, me and my husband, that drink coffee. We use 1 coffee mug a day. My husband usually uses like his travel coffee mug. So 1 person drinking coffee in the morning. I don't need 15 coffee cups. My next one is mail. When we walk in our laundry room, we have like a mail thing on the wall. And sometimes that thing gets stuffed, and it is time to go through all of that mail that has piled up that we've taken care of, that, you know, bills we've paid or whatever. Get rid of all of that excess mail. And honestly, on that note too, when something comes in, try to sort your mail right then. Don't put it somewhere to sort through later. Do that kind of on a daily basis. That helps that clutter from piling up. Junk drawers. We all have them. Go through those, and if it's not something that you truly think you need, get rid of it and declutter that junk drawer. Excess linens. Excess linens like towels, sheets. I have 1 set of sheets for our bed because I always wash them, dry them, put them back on our bed the day I wash them. So I don't really need 3 extra sets of sheets for our bed. So I have 1 set of sheets for our bed and it works just fine. I do have 2 sets for my children's beds, just because they're kids and accidents happen. But for our bed, I have 1 set of sheets and it works just fine. Same thing with towels. I think we have 5 or 6 towels, and that is absolutely plenty for our family of 4. Especially because I do laundry pretty much daily, just to make sure that's not an overwhelming task. So towels, I don't think towels are something we need like 15, 20 towels. If you have, you know, a family of 4, it's different obviously if you have more people. The next thing I have is furniture. This might seem like a big one because it kind of is, but a lot of times in our house we have pieces of furniture that take up a lot of space that nobody ever sits on, nobody ever uses. And so it's kind of odd to have this furniture that's taking up really like quality space in our homes that we could free up our minds, free up places for play, for activities, for all these things when it's furniture that's not used. And so even though that's kind of a big one, I think that's one that we maybe overlook if we have furniture that really serves no purpose. So those first several were, I feel like, surface level things to declutter, really kind of practical things to declutter. But I want to go a little deeper with this like second round of things to declutter, and they go a little bit deeper. My third round of things I want to declutter is even deeper than that. But the first thing I'm thinking of in that deeper level decluttering is frequently used surfaces. We have 2 places in our house that when we come in the door, stuff gets dropped, like those drop zones. And so that's something to declutter to make sure it's a really cleaned off surface. So if it is like your drop zone, when you come in your house, there's not like a bunch of like decor or things sitting on it that you're kind of having to fight with to get like your, you know, your purse, your keys, your wallet set down. So those frequently used like drop zones, try to declutter those. And at the end of the day, put everything back where it goes in those drop zones when you come in the house. Another thing is sentimental items that you will never look at. I feel like that one's like a tough one for people because people are like, sentimental items. But just for an example, when my grandmother passed away, we went through all of her things. We actually remodeled the house that they built. She had a lot of stuff that we went through, and honestly a lot of stuff that I got rid of, but there are several things that I kept that I frequently use. There's a coffee cup that I kept. and a few things like that I frequently look at. A sweatshirt that she always wore. I feel like that is so much more meaningful than totes and totes of like sentimental items from people that, you know, have passed on or they've sent down to you or whatever, but you never open the tote to look at. There's so much stuff that it's all just piled away. Instead of having fewer items that you can actually like appreciate and reminisce about that person when you use, because it's something that's out and it's something that is in your day-to-day life instead of stuff that's just like packed up and you never see because there's so much of it. So declutter some of that sentimental stuff so the things that really mean something you can use and they can be a part of your life. An item that's part of a set but unused. I used to feel like a set like had to go together. I had a set of like mixing bowls I got for our wedding, and there was like 3 or 4 sizes, and like there was just one size I always used, and I felt like there was a set, so I had to keep the other 3 bowls too. But then I was like, I don't have to keep those. Like, it's a set, but I can take the 3 bowls I don't use to Goodwill. And so even if it's part of a set, you can still declutter it if you don't use part of it. Another one is mistake purchases. We all make them. We all are like, I will wear that all the time. I'll use that all the time. And in reality, we don't. Let go of that guilt when you make a mistake purchase and just get rid of it. It's okay. And then the next one is items from a past version of you. Different times in our life, we're always changing, we're always growing, and we go through different hobbies, different interests. And sometimes when we go through those different interests, we purchase items that go along with that interest. But if you're into a different version of yourself now, it's okay to let go of some of those past versions of you with those past items. It's okay to let go of the guilt of that because it could be holding you back from a better version of yourself. And then subscriptions you don't use. I feel like a lot of us probably pay for a lot of subscriptions that we do not ever use. So take the time to go through those and really declutter all the subscriptions that you don't use. And honestly, see if there's some that you can even get rid of that you use some. And then my third level of decluttering goes even deeper than that. My third level of decluttering is really those things that are kind of like in us that we need to declutter. The first one being your phone. And I kind of mean that 2 ways. Declutter your phone as in like things on your phone, like apps, photos, email, all those things. And also declutter like your time on your phone. Get rid of that too, the amount of time that you spend on your phone as well. Your mind. Try to shut down some of those tabs in your mind and really focus on one thing at a time. Feel like that leads to like better like mental health, physical health, when you can really hone that skill of like single task work instead of all of the tabs open in our mind all the time. So really try to declutter your mind and work on just one thing at a time. The next one is declutter your calendar. If it's not like a, yes, I want to do that, really think about how you're spending your time, because whatever you're saying yes to with your time, you're saying no to something else because it's taking up your time. So that's less time to spend on something. I feel like a lot of times at the beginning of a new year, we all are kind of like searching for something a little bit, searching for like a better version of ourselves. Some goal, something that we want to achieve. And I think a lot of times we feel like we're needing to add something to our lives, like a new routine, a new product, a new style, a new whatever it may be. But I think a lot of times finding that goal, that achievement, that better version really comes from that like getting stuff out of there mentality. That way you're left with like what's good and what means something to you. So I want to encourage you as we go through 2025, and we're kind of still starting that year out. It's almost, spring's right around the corner, to really work on not just like seeing what you can add to make your life better, but seeing what you can take away to make your life better as well. Because I know for me personally, in dealing with anxiety and feelings like that throughout my life, nothing has ever helped me like really like ruthlessly eliminating stuff from my life has. Just the physical items that I have has really calmed like my heart and my mind. And so I want to encourage you, if you're looking for like a better version or change or whatever, really, instead of adding, really try that mind shift of getting rid of, just really chucking stuff out. And I promise you that I feel like you will get some of that happiness, some of that creativity spark, some of that like encouragement that you need from your surroundings by getting rid of and focusing on what means the most. Thanks, guys.